Spiritual Living in beautiful but chilly Boise, Idaho. My name's Becky B. I'm this week's featured vocalist. Up above my head, I hear music in the air. Don't you hear it? Up above my head, I hear music in the air. Yes, I do. Up above my head, I hear music in the air. Yes, I do. I believe, I really do believe there's a heaven and it's here, right here up above my head. I hear singing in the air. Don't you? Up above my head. Oh, I hear singing in the air. Oh yeah, up above my head. I hear singing in the air. Bring it on. I believe, I really do believe there's a heaven and it's here. Stan Ritchie on the harp. Let's go. Rex Miller on the keys. Come on, talk to me. Some bass, Ted McClure. Bobby Josephson on the kid. Come on, baby. Mighty fine. Yeah. Up above my head, yeah. I hear preaching in the air. Yes, I do. Up above my head, I hear Reverend Jackie preaching in the air. Bring it on, girl. Up above my head, I hear preaching in the air. Yes, I do. I believe, I really do believe there's a heaven and it's here at CSL. Up above my head, oh, I hear music in the air. Yes, I do. Up above my head, yeah, I hear music in the air. Yes, I do. Up above my head, I hear music in the air. I'll bring it on. I believe, I really do believe there's a heaven and it's here at CSL. Yes, I believe, I really do believe there's a heaven and it's here. That's right. Uh-huh.
Am I on? So good morning and welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living as I light the Christ candle this morning, knowing that all paths lead to God. Just breathe that in for a moment. Good morning. I'm Reverend Jackie Holland, and it is my honor to, again, welcome you to the Center for Spiritual Living here in Boise, Idaho. How honored we are that you're here in the sanctuary with us, and that you are on Facebook Live, or whenever you're watching this, later in the day, later in the week. We are delighted to welcome you here to this beautiful, sunny, at last. We have some sunshine, don't we? So once again, I know you've already heard the beautiful sounds of our guest musician this morning, Miss Becky B. Let's just give her a hand. And what a treat to have Stan Ritchie on the harmonica. We have such such a talented organization here, such a talented community here. Of course, all of this is made possible by the musical direction of our beloved Rex Miller. And this morning on drums, we have Bob Josephson as our guest drummer. Yes, and we're just holding you, Phil, right at home, right where you are. I know you're a little bit under the weather, so Phil Bowden, we're just holding you. We miss you, but we love you, Bob. So we're glad you're here, yeah. And of course, on the bass, keeping that low tone, keeping us all mellowed out a little bit. Yeah, I'm talking Ted McClurg here. I am one amazing, incredibly blessed minister to have this kind of talent. I mean, really. And the talent, not only of the musicians, but the talent of the men and women who make this whole thing work every Sunday morning. This morning, back on sound, making us all sound pretty good, is once again our beloved Rob Compton, the man who is renovating his bathroom and painting houses all around town. Rob Compton. And Donna Sheedy is on our camera this morning, our practitioner, Donna Sheedy. You know, a little bit of trivia about some people in the church, a little trivia about Donna Sheedy. You know, you work for HP, is that correct? Okay, Micron, you know, the other big company in Boise, Micron. She works for Micron. But do you know what she really does? She is a voice-over artist. Yes, huh? Now, that's a little unknown fact about our beloved Donna Sheedy, and she does all kind of other things, too, which she'll let you know about. So we're so delighted to have her here. This week's Cosmic Cleaning Crew was yours truly, Reverend Jackie, and our board member of the day today is J.J. Bullock. I want to tell you about the board member of the day just very briefly. That is the person that after church you can go to and say, you know, I had a thought, or I have a complaint, or I have a compliment. And you can talk to the board member of the day, and they can just talk to you. Anything that you want to know, just talk to our board member of the day, J.J. Bullock. And we're so grateful to Francis Ray for also doing our hospitality. So, with the business of the church started by the best music in Boise on Sunday mornings, let's just take a moment and breathe. Been a week. It's been a week. So let's just let all of that fade away in this moment, in this sacred moment. Take a deep breath into your strong, healthy lungs and allow yourself to consciously honor your body temple. Thank you, body. Thank you, every element of our human physical body temple, for bringing us this far. The temple of the living God is our body. We represent spirit in our human form. Let's just take a moment to honor that. And in the sacred silence, we prepare our hearts, our minds, our spirits to receive the word as it comes through our practitioner, Ophelia Ramirez. Take a deep breath in.
This morning, it's my honor to introduce Cheryl Houdon, who will be lighting the world religious candles from the Christ candle. In religious science, we perform this ceremony to acknowledge that all people and all faiths come from the one great universal presence, which we call Spirit. In lighting these candles, we honor the one family of humanity made up of over 4,000 religions and spiritual traditions around the world. The first candle we light for Hinduism. A Hindu mystic says, God has made different religions to suit different aspirations, times, and countries. One can reach God if one follows any of the paths with wholehearted devotion. We light the second candle for indigenous teachings. Chief Tamunska of the Six Tribe Confederation shares, trouble no one about their religion, respect all their views, and demand that they respect yours. We light the third candle for Judaism. Rabbi Eric Hoffey, head of Reform Judaism's Union of American Hebrew Congregations, states, our view is that there is truth and holiness in all religious faiths. Our view is that there are many paths to God. The fourth candle we light for Shintoism. An ancient Japanese saying states, there are many paths up the mountain, but the view of the moon from the top is all the same. The fifth and final candle is lit for all forms of new thought. Abdul Baba, a leading teacher of the Baha'i faith, says, we must abandon prejudices and must go even to each other's churches and mosques. For in all these worshiping places, the name of God is mentioned. Since all gather to worship God, what difference is there? With all these words in mind, let us open our hearts and our minds to the spiritual message being sung by our beloved Becky B.
Let go of the shore and let the waters carry you. Let go of the shore, floating to the mystery. Let go of the shore and let the waters carry you. Your heart will be your compass. Lift your sails in faith and trust that you will arrive. Let go of the shore and let the waters carry you. Let go of the shore. Float into the mystery. Oh, let go of the shore and let the waters carry you. Oh, let go of the shore. Float into the mystery. Let go of the shore. Float into the mystery. Let go of the shore. Float into the mystery. Let go of the shore. Float into the mystery. Float into the mystery. Float into the mystery.
Join me in prayer. Taking a moment to take in this beautiful, beautiful, glorious morning. This morning on planet Earth, that which we call home, that is so suited for us humans and animals. Air to breathe, water to drink, food to eat, and all the earth asks in return is that we take care of it. Such a beautiful way to live our lives, knowing that all that makes the earth inhabitable for us is spirit. Spirit running through everything. And I know that I am where spirit is. In every cell, bone, sinew, and muscle in my body. Spirit is what animates me, what makes me, me. And what I know for myself, I know for everyone on this earth, and most definitely for all in this room and all watching on Facebook Live. We are all one. We are all spirit. And it's from this place of connectivity, this place of oneness, that I speak my word this morning. I speak my word of thanks for all who have made this service possible. Speak my word of thanks for all who are here in the sanctuary and watching. Knowing that we are here, gathered in spirit, in one heart, to hear the beautiful message that is brought forth this morning by Reverend Jackie Holland. And so I also say my word for her as well, knowing that spirit is moving in and through her this morning. For this I am so grateful, and simply with a grateful heart I say, Namaste, Om, Shanti, Ashe, Aho, Amen, and so it is. And once again, our beloved Becky B.
Line number 1, you're supposed to have it all together. When they ask how you're doing, just smile and tell them never better. Lie number 2, everybody's life is perfect except yours. So keep your scars and your wounds and your secrets safe with you behind closed doors. Truth be told, the truth is rarely told. I say I'm fine, oh I'm fine, yeah I'm fine, hey I'm fine, but I'm not. I'm broken, and when it comes down to scars, you know that everything is yours, and you know it. There's no but being honest is the only way to fix it. There's no failure, no fault, no mistake you don't already know. So let the truth be told. There's a sign on the door, says come as you are, but I doubt it. 'Cause if we lived like that was true, every Sunday morning pew would be crowded. But didn't you say church should look more like a hospital? A safe place for the sick, the wounded, and the scarred, and the prodigals like me. Truth be told, the truth is rarely told. Oh, am I the only one who says I'm fine? Oh, I'm fine, yeah, I'm fine, hey, I'm fine, but I'm not. I'm broken, and when it's out of control, I say it's under control, but it's not. And you know it. I don't know why it's so hard to admit it, but being honest is the only way to fix it. There's no failure, no fault, no mistake you don't already know. So let the truth be told. Can I really stand here unashamed, knowing that your love for me won't change? Oh God, if that's really true, then let the truth be told. I say I'm fine, oh I'm fine, hey I'm fine, yeah I'm fine, but I'm not. I'm broken, and when it's out of control, I say it's under control, but it's not. And you know it. There's no failure, no fault, and being honest is the only way to fix it. There's no failure, no fault, no mistake you don't already know. I know. There's no failure, no fault, no mistake you don't already know. So let the truth be told.
Let the truth be told. Woo. Good morning. Don't we love it when Becky's in the house? She's like, I love it. I love it. So good morning. So the last few weeks of the month in January, religious science churches all around the country are doing what they call back to basics. It is where they take the first 4 chapters of the Science of Mind text, and they teach what is religious science, how you can use it, what it does. Last week we had 2 amazing speakers, Miss Donna Sheedy and Miss Lisa Compton, and they did an amazing job, an amazing job. I want to just tell you my religious science story. I was in my early 30s. It was late. Never mind what the year was. I could have started with that, right? And I had a new boyfriend. Oh, sexy son of a gun. My idea of Sunday morning in Los Angeles, California, was going to Venice Beach, drinking vodka and grapefruit juice copiously until I fell asleep on the beach so I could get brown, after having eaten a breakfast of lox and bagels and read the New York Times and the Los Angeles Times. And that was my Sunday morning. And then I met John. Yeah. And I was going to do almost anything that he asked me to do. Come on, you remember what it's like. Don't lie to me. Don't lie to me. And one day we're driving down the road, and the car sputtered or it did something kind of weird. I don't remember. And I started fussing at it. And John said, "Don't say that to your car." I turned to him and I said, "Why? Does it understand me?" And he said, "Well, listen, your words are powerful. You're putting out there what you think's going to happen." I must have said, "You're a piece of, whatever, and you're going to break down." And he said, "Stop saying that." And that was my introduction to religious science, because he was a religious science practitioner. But here's what I want to say to you. I turned to him and I said, "Now this is California, words I can't say here in the church that start with the B. Anyway." And he said, "No, it's not. No, it is not," he said. Words are powerful. And that was my introduction to what I called California nonsense. And I walked into my first religious science church, which was the Margaret Stevens Church there in Santa Anita, California. And my life was changed forever. Now, about my sexy Italian boyfriend. 6 weeks he was gone. But in my heart, I hold him as one of the most important influences of my life. Clearly he was. I'm standing here, and wherever you are, John, it's your fault. So this month, we go back to the basics, but I don't like to say back to the basics. I like to echo our founder, Dr. Ernest Holmes, whose birthday we celebrated last week. I like to echo him when he said, "I don't go back, I don't retreat." Someone asked him about doing a retreat, and Dr. Holmes said, "I don't do retreats. Call it a forward and I'll do it." Because we are always, always, always moving forward. We are always moving forward. Never going back. And that's one of the basic tenets of religious science, or science of mind. The original book was entitled Science of Mind and Spirit, and it was in 1942 that name was changed because of the spiritualist movement. Felt a little confusing. But I want to tell you that religious science changed my life and continues to change my life every single day, because religious science teaches that we are expansive, that there is always more, that we are always expanding, always expanded. And so there's always, always more. I once, many years ago, read a true story I want to use as an example of how we can live our lives but not really know who we are until we focus with the tools of religious science that can transform our lives. I start with a true story that I read many years ago about an older woman in, I think, Florida, and she passed away. She died alone. She was in her 70s or something, and she died alone. The coroner's report said that she had died of malnutrition. And when the police came into her apartment, they found that it was filled with, it was horrifying. They said it was a mess. It was a pig pen. It was horrible. Her neighbors reported that she was a sad little woman, and that she would beg food at their back doors, and that she would get her clothes, from the trash bins. And she appeared to be a penniless recluse, a sad and forgotten widow. But that was not so. Amidst all of the things that the police, when they investigated, found were 2 keys, which led them to safety deposit boxes in the bank, which was right down the street. They found certificates. They found cash amounting to over $1.5 million. Now here this woman was. This might sound like a sad and unique example, yet I do believe that it serves as an example for all of us, a powerful metaphor for a lot of humanity. Because there is a spiritual malnutrition that is sapping humanity of the truth of who we are. And we, like this woman, maybe it's not quite as big a thing as having $1 million in the bank and starving, but yet I am still saying that many of us walk around on planet Earth living our lives and not knowing who we are. And that's religious Science 101 says, we are here to discover who we are. Last week we discovered from Donna and from Lisa that Science of Mind is a combination of the realization of science, philosophy, and religion. It's a combination of science, philosophy, and religion. That is what we are. And it, when understood, can be applied to the daily needs of all people and all aspects of our lives. And as such, it is an important touchstone for our times. You know, many of you know that I come from the Agape International Spiritual Center, where Dr. Michael Beckwith has one of the largest New Thought, if not the largest New Thought community in the world. And I asked Dr. Michael one time, so why religious science? Why religious science? He had studied Baha'i and Buddhism and all of the other philosophies out there in the world. And Dr. Michael said, it was as good a place as any to stop and to finally turn yourself over to it. When I found religious science so many years ago, I walked into the church an absolute disbeliever. Remember, I was there because somebody pulled me there. I really didn't want to go, but it was the promise of the brunch afterward that kept me going back, I can assure you. But then something made sense. The more that minister spoke, the more I recognized that I have self-responsibility, which is the number one core concept of religious science after oneness. Oneness is number one, self-responsibility being number two. I mean, finally, I had found something that said, I create my world. I create my life. I am responsible. That I don't have to be a victim to anything in the world anymore. That my thoughts, my words, my deeds, my actions are that which create my life. Wow. I fell in love with this philosophy instantly because, you know, I'm one of those people that will just fight against the norm. I liked it. God and I, a word I could never use for so many years of my life, that word God, which indicated to me some old man up in the sky looking down on me, judging me, telling me how to live. And religious science taught me that the philosophy of oneness, the principle of oneness, is that we are all one, including one with God itself, as you heard Ophelia say. It is the God within us, that there is no God that is outside of us, but there is a spirit and a love of God that is within us. We are spirit in expression. Oh, it took me a long time to understand that. And the day that the minister said, "You are God," I almost wanted to dive under my chair. As a Reformed Southern Baptist, I just knew that lightning was going to strike any minute to say that I was God. Because I had learned God was this outside force, this outside power. And that I was just a whim, like a seed upon the wind. And then it was explained to me in a way that I could understand. And I want to give this to you because, honestly, it didn't come till I was in the philosophy about maybe 15 years when finally said somebody that said something that I could finally understand. And it is this. You are not all. All you are is God. But you are not all that God is. All you are is God. But you are not all that God is. At last, I could feel relief. That there is, as Dr. Ernest Holmes, our founder, 1928 said, there is a power in the universe that is greater than you are. And you can use it. And it can use you. Now, he didn't use that word God in that statement, but that's what he's speaking about. And let me just cut to the chase on this word God, since we're back to basics here today, since we're in basics. It is just a word. It carries no power. It carries no stigma. It carries no blame, no anger. It carries nothing. It is a word for that which we cannot, as human beings, explain. We are the finite trying to define the infinite, and it's impossible. So we use words. In religious science, we use words like infinite mind, infinite intelligence, the oversoul, the divine. We use every word we can, a lot of churches, except God. But you know, I'm really comfortable with that word, God. It does not matter. So let's just cut to it and say whatever word works for you. For that power, the creator of all that is seen and unseen, is within you. And this power that is within you is a creative power. It is a creative power. As a religious science minister, I'm asked all the time, how can we use this teaching of science of mind to bring more joy, peace, prosperity, abundance, serenity, and health into our lives? As our founder said, it is simple but not easy. And my answer is always this: your life will dramatically change. It will dramatically change when you learn the principles of religious science and how you can put them into action in your life. Religious science is not a religion in the normal sense of a religion. We have no dogma. We have no creed. We don't even have too many rules, do we? People say to me, what does religious science teach about that? And my answer is always the same. It is done unto you as you believe. What do you believe about that? And as they make their way to the fastest evangelical church that they can find, because they're looking for a box, they're looking for a box that I can't give them. We have no dogma. We have no claim to a special pipeline to God. We have no creed. We can't stand up here and quote the Apostles' Creed to you. We can quote what we believe, but that's really not a creed. That's what one man wrote. He said, this is what I believe. I believe that there is a power in the universe that is greater than we are. I believe that we can heal our body by the use of this power. And I believe that the world can change through the principle and the law of oneness. But that's just one person. I believe our life will change when we know how to use these laws, these spiritual laws, to begin to create the life that we want, that we deserve. So what do I mean by law? Let's just talk about this. The entire universe is governed by law. I have a question. When you got up this morning, did you float to the ceiling? When you got out of your bed this morning, did you float to the ceiling? No. Why? Gravity. This is one of the easiest ways to describe a physical law. It's a simple example of a physical law, which is gravity. Gravity works whether you understand it or not, whether you're consciously using it or not. Whether you say, when you wake up this morning, I guess I better put the law of gravity into action in my life so I don't float around. No, the law works. Irrespective of you, it works. Another example is the speed of light, 186,000 miles per second. Gravity always works on Earth all the time, every day, in exactly the same predictable way. We can depend on it. We know it works. Light does not wake up one morning and decide, no, I'm going to change my speed. No, it does not. It is a physical law that works. We can depend on it. We can use it. We can use it. So the law produces predictable and certain results everywhere and at all times. In agreement with me so far? And we have spiritual laws that work the exact same way. That's science of mind. There's a power for good in the universe, and we can use it. It works the same way in the spiritual realm. The Creator, first cause, God, great architect, or the great I am, whatever we nickname God, instituted these physical and spiritual laws before the beginning of time. Before the beginning of time. We believe that the universe is not governed by the caprice of a parent God, but rather is governed by a law instituted by divine mind, a universal mind, an intelligence, a creator. So the prime mover, the first cause of all things, is what God is to us. So I can use the word God now. Doesn't bother me at all. I don't care if you call it dog. I know it's the prime mover. It's the cause of all things when I use the law. Simply stated, as you think, so you are. Now you know everything you need to know about religious science. Let's go to brunch. As you think, so you are. Instead of the whim of some superhuman deity, you and I have the assurance that the universe and life will work the same way every time because everything is governed by law. But first we have to understand the laws. And we have to put them into action. This woman in Florida that I was talking to you about did not know the laws. She did not know who she was. So many of us walk around that way. So it's a very good idea, just like the human laws, like you want to know, and I'm going to tell you this, on U-Stick, if you go 40 miles on U-Stick, you're going to get a ticket going west. Ask me how I know. Because there's a law that says it's 35. And there must be another law that says the police have to give a certain number of tickets every month. I'm kidding. But seriously, we learned the human laws to go and take our driver's test. We learned the human laws to exist with each other. Isn't it just as important to learn the spiritual laws that can transform your life and to create your own life story in a new way? Because you see, guys, here is what religious science tells us. That you are the prime mover of your life. You are the driving wheel, you are the author, the producer, the director, and the chief actor in your life. You are the prime mover in your life is the sum total of what religious science teaches us. Now, I know all this sounds like California BS, as I said to my wonderful friend John. This is so much California BS, I said to him. And here I am sprouting it off to you today. Because God, divine wisdom, infinite intelligence, whatever you want to call it, is always available for inspiration, for information when you are faced with choices. We can always call on that. So we have choice. We have choice. We can speak a blessing or a cursing in our life by what we think, by what we speak, and the choices that we make or do not make in our lives. I want to say that again. You can speak a blessing or a curse on your life by what you think, what you speak, and the choices that you make or do not make. Because you and I are truly the captains of our fate. These words are as true as they were in the 1600s when William Shakespeare wrote them. You are the captain of your fate and master of your soul. And I think it's even more important right now in this time of turmoil and anything goes public morality. I think it's important that we realize we are the captains of our fate and the masters of our soul. And so religious science fits for me because religious science simply says this: self-responsibility. Self-responsibility is the cardinal rule of religious science. Self-responsibility. And as the queen of victimization, I can tell you those words were hard for me in the beginning. What are you saying? I created this cancer on my face? Which I had some work done last week, which is why I wasn't here. I'll tell you. Yeah, I did. Look up cancer. Internalized anger. Yeah. Self-responsibility is the cardinal rule of religious science. By your stream of thought, your predominant thought patterns, right? by your words, which are thoughts in physical form, and by the choices that you make from those thoughts, which turned into words and now are a choice, your life is created. And it will either blossom or it will fade away, depending on your wise or your foolish use of this law of life. The universal law that says you are what you believe. You are what you say. You are the choices that you make. Simply put, people, here it is. This is it. Simple, simple, simple. You think your life into being. You think your life into being. Starts with a thought, which becomes a word, which becomes a choice that you either make or you do not make. Your mama didn't do it to you. Your daddy didn't do it to you. Your lover, your mate, your friends are not doing it to you. Your spouse did not do it to you. You, I, created the situation that I and you are experiencing right now. Oh, don't we hate that? Don't we hate that? I created my experience. Like he said, Dr. Holmes, simple, but not easy. We created the experience that we are having right now. You know, it's a lot easier to point to bad luck, to bad situations, to blame God, to blame fate, to talk about karma. And if you believe all of that, remember it's done unto you as you believe. So therefore, you're manifesting it. You're transforming your life based on your belief. And I'm not saying those beliefs are wrong or right. I'm not saying that. Because, again, in religious science, we don't tell you what's wrong or right about what you believe. We tell you that what you believe will manifest and transform your life based on your beliefs. So let's just be careful. I myself choose not to believe in the concept of bad luck. I choose not to believe in the concept of karma, although I understand many people do believe in that, and therefore it will manifest in their lives. The truth is that we are the creator of our life experience, and that is what religious science teaches us. Your thoughts build your life brick by brick by brick. And your words form that cement that puts those bricks together. Your thoughts are the bricks, the words are the cement that put those thoughts together, and then your choices build the house, create your life. Thoughts exist, they are real, and they are creative. That's religious science. So thoughts have power. They're the building blocks. So how? How? Everybody says to me, how? How do we live the life we want to live, Reverend Jackie? How do I do it? How? I want it so badly. How does this really work, you say? Well, first of all, I want to say this to you. That simply changing your thoughts, although affirmations and prayer and spiritual mind treatment are two amazingly transformational tools that we teach here in religious science, it isn't as simple as change your thinking, change your life. Okay, so I believe a certain thought, and now today I'm going to affirm 150,000 times that I believe something different. Will that change will that change the experience? I'm not saying that. It isn't that simple because it's about predominant thought patterns. It's about predominant thought patterns. If not, every single one of you would be dead if you have children, because how many times have your kids say, I could just kill you? I'm saying if it was their predominant pattern of thought, you might want to take them to a child psychiatrist. But in the meantime, so no, it's not quite that simple. So, you know, when I first came into religious science, I said to myself, well, if it's just as simple as changing my thought, well, then heck, I can do that. But that's called willpower. That's not changing anything. That's efforting. That's not changing anything. Change is this deep, deep experience that you have of truth. Of truth. And by the way, it is that simple. In the instant that you believe something with all your heart, soul, mind, and spirit, it will change your life. And I know that you've all had that experience in your life. Have you not? And you've called it a miracle. Maybe. Call it whatever you want. But something in you changed your thinking, changed your life. So first of all, how do we use this philosophy? Step number one, you've got to claim your power. You've got to affirm that you are a magnificent creation of God itself, and that God never, ever experiences a recall. Ever. Never takes anything back. There's no junk in spirit. We have to know that me, that I, and you, and all of humanity are made from the very substance, the very stuff, as we call it, of the Most High God, which is the God that is within each and every one of us. Yes, you and I, and even your so-called enemy, are made of the very substance of the divine. This is what we teach. This is what we know. But you say to yourself, well, what happens when we're the victim of other people's actions or nature? We couldn't control the pandemic. I disagree, but we could have. Or what happens with luck? You say that. I want you to know that in religious science, this is what we teach about that. We say that becoming a victim to anything is a conscious choice. That we make the choice. We make the choice. It's not something that's forced upon us. Yes, people, bad things do happen in our lives. Absolutely they do. You lose your job, your house, your spouse. We become ill, diagnosed with cancer. Those are tough things to take into stride. But unless we want them to persist, that is exactly what we have to do. Take it in stride and recognize that it is an experience that we are going through, that we will get through. How do you look cancer in the eye and say it's no big deal? How do you lose your spouse and say it doesn't matter? These things do matter. We are not in the denial business in religious science. I want to be very clear about that. When we speak of affirmations, that does not mean that we are denying what is going on in our life. There are very human things that go on in our life, of course. And they matter. And some are scary, and some hurt. I know. I've experienced so many of these things. But here's the secret. These things didn't happen to you. Nobody did this to you. As hard as it is to say, one way or the other, we are responsible for everything, good or bad, that happens in our lives. Now, understand something. This is not blame. We are not to blame for what happens in our lives. But we are responsible for how we now react. So many people in religious science put on these rose-colored glasses and teach that everything is okay. And spiritually, everything is okay. At a spiritual level, everything can, will be, and is okay. But religious science does not tell us to deny the reality of what we're going through. It simply tells us that there are tools of transformation that we can use to help us through it in a greater way. So we don't deny what's happening, but what we say is, what is the lesson? What is the gift? What is mine to know from what is happening here? What spiritual tool? Meditation, spiritual mind treatment. What tools can I use to affirm the positive while I'm also experiencing this? Because these things don't happen to us. There's no blame in the spiritual realm. But our predominant thought patterns are a stream of consciousness, thoughts, led to choices. And choices are the building blocks of life. So in truth, there are no victims. I know it sounds heartless, but it is the truth. In fact, when I first came into religious science, I thought, this is kind of cold. This is kind of cold philosophy. Like, ooh, gosh. Because, you know, I was Southern Baptist, and we take a casserole to everything. Religious science says, wait a minute, don't give too much energy to it. That casserole's giving a lot of energy to it. I'm like, man, this is cool philosophy. When I got the diagnosis of a little bit of skin cancer last week, the first place I went to was, oh, woe is me, oh my gosh, how am I going to get through this on my face, blah, 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 blah. Then I reminded myself, you are a religious science minister, Jackie, and you don't believe these things just happen. We created it one way or the other. You had to do some deep introspection on that one. Go to Louise Hayes and talk to my practitioner. Okay, how did I create this? I think it was called the 60s margaritas on the beach and sunshine. I'm just saying. See, I made a choice. That choice 35 years later said, hey, but you made that choice. Religious science teaches us to understand that we are the power in our own lives. Religious science says that we have the license to heal ourselves. Since birth was given to us by God, by deity, by life itself. That we have the power to transform and to create our life, whatever the life is that we want. We have the power. But are we using it? Do we even know how? Religious science teaches that we are magnificent creations of the architect of the universe, and we don't have to be an architect. You don't have to be an architect like Dave. We don't have to be a victim ever again. So think about what you allow in your life. Think about the words that we speak. Think about the thoughts that we have. Think about the choice that we have to think this thought or to think a thought of love and joy and peace, and to choose happiness and health and that which is in the highest and the best for everybody concerned. That is what religious science teaches. You have a choice. And by the way, religious science does not say that you are a bad person because you chose the negative. Religious science would say to you, guess there's more to learn here. Like I've been saying all week, guess there's more to learn here. So first way to use religious science and to change your life is to remember and to claim who you are. You are God's expression here on planet Earth. That's who you are. And all that God has, all that God is, the great creator of all life, you have too, because you are a center in the mind of God. That's exciting. Come on, guys. I mean, think about this. If God is a great creator of all things, and I am a center in the mind of God, that means I can create. And why am I not creating? Why am I not? Why are you not? Why aren't every single one of us multimillionaires, if that's what you want, or living the life and the dream that you want? I suspect it's because we're afraid. I suspect it's because we're afraid. The second way to transform your life is to think and speak about what you do want in your life more than what you do not want in your life. Now listen, guys. There's some part of religious science that says never, never, never speak about what you don't want, because then you're giving it energy. Well, while that is basically true, there's also an idea that I have in my mind that unless we examine what we don't want, we may or may not know what we do want. Or until we examine what we don't want, we may not get the lesson from that. So I'm not asking all of us tomorrow to turn into Pollyannas who only speak when you say, oh, how are you? Better and better. Good and good. Everything's great. That's why I loved your song. That's why I love Becky's song. Because we're not, on the human level, always that way. But spiritually, we know that the possibility for us is that we are that spiritually. We have a choice. We remember that thoughts and words have immense power. It's been said that you don't always get what you want, but you always get what you expect. And that's what religious science is really trying to teach us. Place your expectations high. Place them high. Make them pure. Make them so audacious. Make your expectations so big, so glorious, so amazing that you almost can't believe that it's possible. But until you see it, you'll never achieve it. Until you speak it, you'll never know it. Until you know who you are and whose you are, you will never obtain the life that you want. All spiritual teachings say this, that we are a center in the divine. Yes, there are philosophies that teach that God is above us and outside of us, and that works for some. But the reality for all faiths is that we believe that there is a great causative, creative power. And at some level, we know that we have co-partnership with this power, that we can create our lives based on our belief system. It was Sir James Jeans, who was an amazing British physician, mathematician, and molecular physicist, I think he was. And he said this. He said that the universe is beginning to look more like a great thought than a great machine. Your thoughts are feeding into the great thoughts of the universe. Wow. He said, matter is continually created through the universe by thought. By thought. So I'm going to invite you right now just to turn within. Just turn within for a moment. Just take a deep breath with me. And ask yourself this question. What is the predominant thought that I'm having right now about everything that this crazy woman has said up there? Do I believe it? Do I really, really believe that I can create my life based on my thinking and the words that I speak and the choices that I make? Do I believe that? Do I really, really believe that? Or is it, as that woman said over 30 years ago, it's just so much BS? Are we willing and ready to let go of the comfort of victimization? Because it's so familiar. Are we ready to say that God and I are co-partners in creating this life? And can I let go? And if your first thought was, it's not that easy, Reverend Jackie, I've been trying, it's not that easy. I know, I never said it was. But oh, it's worth it. And so right now, I want you to think, with those of you within the sound of my voice, I want you to think of one thing that you want in your life that perhaps you don't have right now, or perhaps you don't have enough of. And do not think that wanting human things is wrong. It's all God. What do you want in your life right now more than anything? Love, abundance, self-respect, freedom, a new home. Just want you to anchor that. Just anchor that right now. Now, remembering who you are, claiming your power, claiming your power, I want you to silently speak the truth about this situation. The spiritual truth. Speak the truth because it's yours. It's yours. Because there is a law that is ready, willing, and able to work for you. It's wanting to. The universe is urging you to open yourself and let it do its great and mighty work through you right now. Whatever that looks like. And if you can believe that with me, and I do believe it, there is a power in the universe that is greater than I am. And I can use it. And it can use me to express itself on planet Earth as this which I have just declared is mine. I am a creative center in the mind of God itself. And Spirit and I are co-creating this, fill in the blank, that I am claiming as mine now. I see it because I believe it. I believe it, and now it is mine. Take a deep breath. Clasp your hands together like this. Now squeeze. And hold it. And every time you doubt, I want you to put your hands together and squeeze. And so let us pray. Holy, infinite Creator of all that is, that which woke us up this morning and said, "Good morning, my beloved. Welcome to a new day of creativity, of joy and health and love. This great power, this magnificence is within me, and it is within all sentient beings everywhere." This morning, we absolutely know the truth for our world. In those places of darkness, in those places of pain and hurt or lack and limitation, we declare that there is a universal law of abundance that is forever and ever pouring itself over and through all of creation. We call forth armies of angels known as human kindness to bring forth in those places compassion and love and light. For so many people who have prayed for their body temple here in the church, who have asked for prayers, Julie Adams recovering from her surgery, Sue Montague recovering from her surgery. So many individuals preparing for surgery this week. We especially speak our beloved Mickey McKinley's name into this prayer as she goes into the hospital tomorrow. We just know that all is well. The great physician of life is within her and within all of the medical professionals assisting our beloved Mickey. And for those unnamed individuals, know that we are praying with you. We are particularly holding our world leaders in our prayers right now for divine discernment and divine guidance. The time for wars or crossing borders is over. For we are all one. We are all one. One humanity. One life. So we just, especially this morning, know that the leaders in Russia are making different decisions. The world is watching from that place where we know that we are one. We open the prayer vortex now for anyone just to place into this sacred prayer anything. Our movement lost 2 amazing ministers this week. Dr. Reverend Sharon Stroud and Reverend Pat Perkins, 2 very dear friends of mine, made their transition on the same day. So we grieve, but we know they are soaring high, teaching this philosophy in a new way. And how grateful we are for their lives. As I release my Aunt Betty Tippett and my first cousin Dennis Robinson, also who died on the same day, to their greater yet to be. We surround my Aunt Faye with our prayers and our heart and our compassion. We know that life is eternal and all is well. All is well. And so it is. Amen. 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 Please turn to someone and let them know how glad you are that they are here today. Oh, just say namaste. And for those of you, just look right into this camera. Namaste. We salute the Christ in you. Thank you so much. So this is our conscious giving time, and as you are preparing your gift and your offering, those of you at home who have sent in your offerings, we are deeply grateful. If you're interested in knowing right now, I know on the live feed they're letting you know many different ways that you can give to the Center for Spiritual Living. And once again, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for all of your generosity over the last year. Pandemic, of course, hit all of us, but we've closed the year in books, and we're very happy. And we will be having our annual meeting on March the 23rd. Is that correct? 20th. March 20th? Is that correct? All right. We're going to announce it's March 20th. Stay tuned for your e-blast. I think it is March 20th. We're required to give 6 weeks' notice out. So we're going to say it's March 20th, and whatever that Sunday is. It will be immediately after church. We'll talk about the finances of the church. We'll talk about plans going forth. Please mark your calendar. We will have some lunch. Also, the first Sunday in March, we are going to be blessed by a special guest minister from Southern California, Reverend Cindy Edelson, and I'm very excited about her being here the first Sunday in March, also doing a workshop. Stay tuned with your e-blast, and we'll be letting you know all about these kind of things that are coming. And speaking of things that are coming up, so what's happening, Miss Becky B? Where are you performing?
At everybody's favorite dive, Willie B's on February 12th with the Billy Blues Band.
Ooh, Willie B's on February 12th. Yeah, that'd be fun. Early Valentine's with your girlfriends and your boyfriends and everybody. Go out to Willie B's. Actually, I think Willie B's is fun. I think it's a lot of fun. We like Willie B's. And what about you, Mr. Rex Miller? Are you performing? Everywhere. So he just says, I go where Pamela tells me. That's right. That's what he says. And let me tell you, they're busy. So, on the e-blast or on our website, cslboise.org, you can scroll down to the musicians and you can click on their photographs, and it will take you to their websites where hopefully they've updated and you can know everywhere our musicians are performing. I want to say this, that our musicians make their living by playing music for the most part. And they are invited to these places based on the attendance. So I encourage you to go and support these musicians who come here every Sunday morning to support you. To go and have some dinner and support them and let the proprietors know, hey, we like Becky B. We think Rex Miller's kind of cute, so you should have him back too. I know I'm supposed to say more things, but I don't want to, except to say that after church today, of course, you are invited to do prayer. Please call our practitioners. Our practitioners are on standby to pray with you. They're probably putting their phone numbers up right now. They'll call you in this time of pandemic. It's a good way. Ophelia will be praying as well. And also I want to invite you to hospitality after church with a gentle, loving reminder. We do have a mask mandate in this church, but we also are saying we think that you are mature adults and that you can make the decision about your health. Having said that, please maintain distance unless someone invites you into their energy field. Just let's be mindful that not everyone is as comfortable yet as some of us are, and just please stay after for hospitality and get to know someone. Are there any visitors today? Any new people today? Or we're all family? Oh, please stand and let us just, do we have a little thing for him? If we don't have it, we'll get it to you right after church. Oh, there you go. We have a visitor packet. Thank you so much for being with us. Stay after and get to know some people in this amazing community. And it truly is an amazing community. You know, guys, we're back. We look forward to seeing you whenever you are comfortable to come back to church. But we really would like to invite you to come back. No, here, why don't you take this one? Why don't you take this one? Oh, you like that one? Well, then, hey. Let's get, so we'll clean this for her then. Okay, great. Excellent. In just a minute. I'll put this here for you, Ophelia, okay? So, let's take our gift, our offering in our hand, and for those of you who are at home, just put your hand over your heart and know that you are blessing all that comes into this church. Once again, we are deeply grateful for all of the giving, not only the finances, but the prayers and your support. We are now beginning to open back up, as I said, and we are looking for volunteers. We need volunteers to help us with hospitality. We need volunteers to help us with a few things around the facility. And we want to reopen the church to our children. So if any of you are called to do any work with our young people, please, please, please contact me at the church or just email me. And, sir, you are doing a cooking class. What, you want to talk about that? Yeah, come on, talk about that. Can he use your microphone? May he use your microphone? Come on up here. Shadi, come up and introduce yourself and let everybody know about this. This is very exciting. This is very exciting, guys.
Hi, everybody, and thank you for this beautiful community. I'm so blessed to be part of it, really, truly. I'm offering just cooking classes from Arabic culture. If anyone like to have a cooking classes or a dinner, I would love to be coming over and show you how making it and be part of it. So really, it's just building bridges between culture, and I believe the food to bring everybody together. So let's do it.
And Jadi, you're also doing one with City Club.
Well, I do. Sorry.
Now, aren't you? You're doing one with the City Club. They're offering any of you who are members with the Boise City Club. They're doing one
I do.
With you.
Excuse me. I do with the Idaho Refugees Office with a thing called Kit Cross Country, and actually they send you the kit when you sign up with it, and we do it a class online on what's called Zoom. And we'll be cooking together. Like last class I had was over 45 family was in it, and was wonderful. We did hummus, baba ghanoush, and tabbouleh for the the holidays and this stuff. It's really amazing. So please reach out to me and my on my Facebook, or I will give you my number.
Yeah.
We can talk about it. And I'm really, really happy to be part of it. And
Maybe we should put a big thing here together.
I would love to. Oh my God. Yes.
Let's do it. Thank thank you, beloved one. Thank you. There you go. Okay, so this is our conscious giving time. Did we bless it already? No, see, I can't even stay on topic today. It's religious science. Let's just take our gift, our offering in our hands, and just know that this represents something so much greater than money. It represents the abundance of a loving universe, moving and having its being through each and every one of us. We're so grateful to receive abundance and to participate in the law of circulation and to return to our spiritual community a portion. So let's just take our gift, our offering in our hand and say, Divine Mind, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I circulate. And so it is. Amen. Amen. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Becky B. and the CSL House Band.
You might slip, you might slide, stumble and fall by the roadside, but don't you ever let nobody drag your spirit down. And that's the truth. See, when they're walking up to heaven, don't let nobody turn you round. No, no. Walk with the rich, walk with the poor. You learn from everybody, 'cause that's what life is for. Don't you ever let nobody drag your spirit down. Yeah, we're walking up to heaven. Don't let nobody turn you round. All right, stand. Throw that thing, baby. Okay, Rex Miller, tickle those ivories. Some say yes, some say no, some just gonna wait to see which way that wind is gonna blow. Don't you ever let nobody drag your spirit down. And that's the truth, yeah. Say we'll be walking up to heaven. Don't let nobody turn you round. Stand and tap. Do it, gentlemen. My say things that sound strange to you. My preach me the gospel, 'cause I believe it's true. So don't you ever let nobody drag your spirit down. I'm talking to you. Yeah, we're walking up to heaven. Don't let nobody turn you round. Take me one time, here we go. Say we're walking up to heaven. Don't let nobody turn you round. Have a great week. Yeah.
Oops, am I on? Hello, hello, there I am. Rise if you feel comfortable doing that. Oh, what a time we've had this morning. Nice, huh? Yes, so my blessing to you this week is that knowing that we are co-creators with God, with Spirit, with the divine, let's go out and create for ourselves a fabulous week and a fabulous life. So it is.